Welcome back to the 11th hour. Joining our conversation live tonight is Congressman John Garamendi, a Democrat from California who represents a district between San Francisco and Sacramento, and importantly for terms of our conversation tonight, sits on the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, let's begin I've got to take these in terms of importance in North Korea, which represents a real and present, it seems to me, danger to life here in this country and in other places. The last Associated Press breaking news is North Korea's vice foreign minister says President Trump is, quote, making trouble with, quote, aggressive tweets. What do you make of this situation and how the United States should proceed?
It is extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. North Korea is not just another country. North Korea has one of the largest armies in the world. They are prepared for war, have been, as is South Korea, as is the United States. Got to be really, really careful here about what you say, where you're deploying forces, because you don't know how North Korea is going to respond. They may very well do a nuclear test. Now, what is Trump going to do? The card has been played. How will he play his card? We could wind up in an extremely dangerous and a horrible war situation by a mistake that could be made here. And we need to keep in mind what Trump has shown us in the 18, 20 months of his campaign. He showed that he is bombastic, that he is profane, that he is a bully. And now he's bullying, or attempting perhaps to bully, North Korea. I'd be really careful, very careful here, because this is extremely dangerous.
You're on armed services, and General Barry McCaffrey really got our attention a few days back when he said, in his view, we should kind of switch our priority to defense, and that is protecting Seattle, L.A., your district, all our population centers within range of whatever munition they come up with next, protecting our people and places from stuff that may already be aloft and launched.
Well, it won't be a missile. That's not going to happen in the near term. They do not have an intercontinental ballistic missile that can reach the United States. Certainly, they have missiles that can reach Japan, Guam, and the area in the Western Pacific. However, there are other ways of delivering a nuclear bomb. And you can put it on a boat, put it on a fishing boat, and you can wind up in any port around the world. So we need to be very, very cautious here. It is an extremely bad situation. We have to put every method we can, short of going to war on the Korean Peninsula, once again, to put North Korea out of the nuclear weapons business. China is a major and critical part of doing that, as is Russia. So we need to assemble the power of the world, put all of that pressure on North Korea, and move them away from being a nuclear weapons nation. It's not going to be easy. 3 administrations previously have tried to do this. They've not succeeded. Will this administration succeed? We certainly hope so. But at the same time, be careful about drawing a red line that may draw us into a major conflict on the Korean Peninsula. And as has been said many times, in this evening, when the president was on the campaign trail, he was saying, I will blank and bomb them, blank, blank. So what is North Korea hearing? They're hearing the rhetoric of the campaign, and frankly, it has not diminished. He has sent a major, as he called it, armada, which is not a particularly good term because I think the Spanish armada didn't do too well. In any case, it is provocative, and will it cause North Korea to back down? Probably not by itself, but in the context of China, Russia, and others, all of those countries, including ours, putting pressure on them, moving them away from the nuclear weapons. We've got to do that. At the same time, we've got plenty of problems in Syria, the Middle East, and Afghanistan. It has been 16 years since the United States Congress has visited the issue of peace or war in Afghanistan. The authorization to use military force in Afghanistan is now 16 years old. And we need to go back as members of Congress, carry out our constitutional responsibilities, and decide whether and how we're going to continue that war. To that end, a Republican, Walter Jones, and I have introduced legislation that would effectively cause Congress to once again deal with this issue of the Afghanistan authorization to use military force, which is the legal argument that is being used to deal with ISIS in Syria. That's a long stretch, but nonetheless, that is the legal argument that the Obama administration used, and this administration also. So Congress has to engage here. We need to ask the generals, hey, President Trump said develop a plan within 30 days of destroying ISIS. What is that plan? Not necessarily the war plans, but what is the deployment of troops? How much money do you need? What kind of weapons do you need? And how are you going to use the soft power of the United States, the State Department, and all the rest? Complex, but we've got to get to it, and Congress has to play its role.
Congressman John Garamendi, Democrat of California, thank you very much for joining us on this Thursday night. Another break for us, and coming up, another lively town hall tonight. We'll take a live look here at